Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. All glories to Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta Antya Lila, Chapter 18, Text 65. Premhaveshe padila tenho samudre rajale tanre tumi utaila apanhara jale. Because of ecstatic love, the Lord fell into the sea, and you have caught him in your net and rescued him. Tandrasparshe harhila tomara Krishna premodaya bhuta prete jane tomara haila mahabaya. Simply touching him has awakened your dormant love of Krishna, but because you thought him a ghost, you were very much afraid of him. Ebhe bhaya gela tomara mana haila stire kahantanre utanacha dekaha amare. Now that your fear is gone and your mind is peaceful, please show me where he is. Jaliya kahe prabhure dekaya chon barabara tenho na hena ehi ati vikrita akara. The fisherman replied, I have seen the Lord many times, but this is not he. This body is very much deformed. Svarupa kahe tanrahaya premera vikara asti santi chadehaya ati dirgakara. Suptamadar said, the Lord's body becomes transformed in his love for God. Sometimes the joints of his bones separate, and sometimes his body becomes very much elongated. Suni sei jaliya anandita haila sabhalana gela mahaprabhure dekila. Hearing this, the fisherman became very happy. He brought all the devotees with him and showed them Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Text 71. Bhumite padi ache prabhu dirgha sabakaya jale sveta tanu valu lagiya che gaya. The Lord was lying on the ground, his body elongated and bleached white by the water. He was covered from head to foot with sand. Ati dirgha sitila tanu charmanatkaya durhapata utanha gare anhananayaya. The Lord's body was stretched, and his skin was slack and hanging loose. To lift him and take him the long distance home would have been impossible. Ardha kupina durakari shushka parana bahirvase soyaila valuka chadana. The devotees removed his wet undergarment and replaced it with a dry one. Then, laying the Lord out on an outer cloth, they cleaned the sand from his body. Sabe meli uchakari karena sankirtane uchakari Krishna namaka hena prabhurakane. They all performed sankirtan, loudly chanting the holy name of Krishna into the Lord's ear. Katakshane prabhurakane sabda parashila hunkara kariya prabhuta bahi utila. After some time, the sound of the holy name entered the ear of the Lord, who immediately got up, making a great noise. Utitei asti sabala gilani justane ardhabhaye iti uti karena dharashane. As soon as he got up, his bones assumed their proper places. With half external consciousness, the Lord looked here and there. Tinha dashaya Mahaprabhu Rahena Sarvakala Antardasa Bhaya Dasa Ardha Bhaya Ara. The Lord remained in one of three different states of consciousness at all times: internal, external, and half external. Antardharshara Kichu Gora Kichu Bhaya Jnana Sehi Dasa Kahe Bhakta Ardha Bhaya Nama. When the Lord was deeply absorbed in internal consciousness, but he nevertheless exhibited some external consciousness, devotees called his condition Ardha Bhaya, or half external consciousness. Ardha Bhaye Kahena Prabhu Pralapa Vachane Akase Kahena Prabhu Sunena Bhakta Gane. In this half external consciousness, Śrī Caitanya Mahaprabhu talked like a madman. The devotees could distinctly hear speaking to the sky. The devotees could distinctly hear him speaking to the sky. Kalindi dekhiya ami gelana vrindavana dekhi jala krida karena vrajendra nandana. Seeing the river Yamuna, he said, I went to Vrindavan. There I saw the son of Nanda Maharaj performing his sporting pastimes in the water. Dandava Uma Devi. Text 81. Radhikadi Gopi Gana Sange Ekatra Mele Yamundra Jale Maharange Karena Keli. Lord Krishna was in the water of the Yamuna in the company of the gopis, headed by Srimati Radharani. They were performing pastimes in a great sporting manner. Tire rahi dekhi ami Saki Gana Sange Eka Saki Saki Gane Dekaya Se Range. I saw this pastime as I stood on the bank of the Yamuna in the company of the gopis. One gopi was showing some other gopis the pastimes of Radha and Krishna in the water. Patavastra alankare Samharpiya Saki Kare Sukshma Shukla Vastra Paridana Krishna Lana Kantagana Kaila Jala Bhagana Jala Keli Rachila Sutama. All the gopis entrusted their silken garments and ornaments to the care of their friends, and then put on fine white cloth. Lord Krishna, taking his beloved gopis with him, bathed and performed very nice pastimes in the water of the Yamuna. Saki he deka Krishnera Jala Keli Range Krishna Mata Karivara Chanchala Kara Pushkara Gopi Gana Kari Nira Sange. My dear friends, just see Lord Krishna's sporting pastimes in the water. Krishna's restless palms resemble lotus flowers. He is just like the chief of mad elephants, and the gopis who accompany him are like she-elephants. Arhambila jala keli, anyonye jala fila feli, huda hudi, varshe jala dara, sabhe jaya parajaya, nahi kichu nishchaya, jalayudha badila apara. The sporting pastimes in the water began, and everyone started splashing water back and forth. In the tumultuous showers of water, no one could be certain which party was winning and which was losing. This sporting water fight increased unlimitedly. Varshe stira tadid gana, sinshe shama navagana, kana varshe tadid upare, saki ganera nayana, Trishita Chatakagana Sei Amrita shuke panakare. The gopis were like steady streaks of lightning, and Krishna resembled a blackish cloud. The lightning began sprinkling water upon the cloud, and the cloud upon the lightning. Like thirsty chataka birds, the eyes of the gopis joyously drank the nectarian water from the cloud. Pratame yudha jala jali, tabe yudha karakari, tarapache yudha mukha mukhi, tabe yudha hruda hridi, tabe haila radha radi, tabe haila yudha nakan kanaki. As the fight began, they splashed water on one another. Then they fought hand to hand, then face to face, then chest to chest, teeth to teeth, and finally nail to nail. Sahasrakare jalaseke, sahasra netre gopi deke, sahasrapade nikata gamane, sahasra mukha chumbane, sahasra vapu sangame, gopi narma sune sahasra kane. Thousands of hands splashed water, and the gopis saw Krishna with thousands of eyes, with thousands of legs. They came near him, and they kissed him with thousands of faces. Thousands of bodies embraced him. The gopis heard his joking words with thousands of ears. Krishna Radha Lana Bole, Kelha Kanta Dagna Jale, Chadila Tahan Yahan Agadha Pani, Tenho Krishna Kanta Dari, Base Jalera Upari, Gajot Kate Yarche Kamalini. Krishna forcibly swept Radharani away and took her into water up to her neck. Then he released her where the water was very deep. She grasped Krishna's neck, however, and floated on the water like a lotus flower plucked by the trunk of an elephant. Yatha Gopa Sundari, Krishna Tata Rupadari, Sabhada Vastra Karila Harane, Yamuna Jala Nirmala, Anga Kare Jala Mala, Suke Krishna Kare Darashane. Krishna expanded himself into as many forms as there were gopis, and then took away all the garments that covered them. The water of the river Yamuna was crystal clear, and Krishna saw the glittering bodies of the gopis in great happiness. Text 91. Padmini lata sakhi chaya, kaila karo sahaya, taranga haste patra samarpila, keha mukta kesha pasa, age kaila arho vasa, haste keha Kanchuli Darila. The lotus stems were the friends of the gopis, and therefore helped them by offering them lotus leaves. The lotuses pushed their large round leaves over the surface of the water with their hands, the waves of the Yamuna, to cover the gopis' bodies. Some gopis undid their hair and kept it in front of them as dresses to cover the lower portions of their bodies, and used their hands as bodices to cover their breasts. Krishnera Kalaha Radhasane Gopi Gana Seikshane Himhabjavane Gela Lukaite Akanta Vapu Jale Paishe Mukhamatra Jale Base Padme Mukhe Na Parichin Ite. Then Krishna quarreled with Radharani, and all the gopis hid themselves in a cluster of white lotus flowers. They submerged their bodies up to their necks in the water. Only their faces floated above the surface, and the faces were indistinguishable from the lotuses. Thus ends our reading for today. All glories to Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj Ki Jai. All glories to Srila Bhakti Nirmal Acharya Maharaj Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees Bhakti Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to Sripad Bhakti Nishkam Shanta Maharaj Ki Jai. All glories to Bhakti Vigyan Sripad Bhakti Vigyan Muni Maharaj Ki Jai. All glories to Arupanuga Guvarga Ki Jai. Jai Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Ki Jai. Jai Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta Ki Jai. Jai Giri Govardhan Gupta Govardhan Dham Ki Jai. Nitai Gora Hari Hari Bol.